If you are an active mom and you eat pretty well, you exercise consistently, but you feel frustrated because you feel self-conscious about your stomach and you don't want to feel that way. But at this point, you're 9 months postpartum, or maybe you're 9 years postpartum, and you feel like you have wasted months or maybe years exercising and you're not seeing changes on your belly specifically, or maybe you've even exacerbated an existing diastasis recti ab gap, which in turn is going to widen the circumference of your waist and it's going to make you look like you have a belly pooch no matter how much excess fat you lose. Know that I have hope and confidence for you. Here's exactly what you can do to improve the integrity of your abdominal wall, and I'm going to make it really simple and straightforward for you with visuals. So ensure that you watch until the end. The first one is that you are going to breathe like you are a full tube of toothpaste. Stay with me. After you have babies, your upper abs and obliques want to dominate. They're kind of like bullies. They take over. So when you cinch and try to tighten your abs and it causes upper ab bracing, you might accidentally be treating your pelvic floor like a paper bag and it's blowing out at the bottom because you're squeezing from the top up so hard. Just like you wouldn't let your 4-year-old take a full tube of toothpaste and squeeze while it's hanging upside down from the top, nor are you going to treat your abs that way. Upper ab gripping can be associated with leaks, pelvic organ prolapse, having a flat pancake butt, and a stubborn belly pooch or a line in the middle. Here's what you need to do instead. Feel the area under your navel and above your pubic bone. Now draw in and up as you exhale like a tube of toothpaste on its side. No arching your back, no tucking your ribs, no clenching your butt cheeks. Anytime you have an allergy attack or cough, it's not enough to think, oh, clench my pelvic floor because it's coming. It's something that you have to practice. Now let's look at the same thing, but from a half prone position where your knees are hovering off the mat. See what happens when I engage from the top of my abs and I feel like my core is tight as if someone were going to punch me. Instead, imagine engaging from the bottom up. This is going to optimize your diastasis recti healing and ensure that you aren't blowing out the bottom of your paper bag. You're going to Kegel like a shark vacuum, sucking up the crumbs at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because it's not enough to plan to draw your pelvic floor in and up when you have a coughing fit. It's something that you need to practice, and you need to practice it consistently, not neurotically. More is not bad. In the early weeks postpartum, before you get the all clear to resume exercise, or if you're months or years postpartum, start this tomorrow, and I can almost guarantee you will see improvement in just 2 weeks of being consistent. It can really help to set a phone reminder to go off at 7 a.m., noon, 5 p.m. so that you actually do it. Your family doesn't need to know what the reminder is for, but you will be consistent about it. Imagine a pom-pom when you're sitting in your kitchen chair, when you're standing at the sink doing dishes, when you are at a stoplight or waiting in a car line. Your pelvic floor is going to draw in and up. But first, this is key. You need to do a big 5-second inhale. And on the exhale, this is when the vacuum action happens. And you're clenching, holding for 10 seconds without squeezing your butt cheeks. After a full 10 seconds, in and out, you completely relax. Relaxation is just as important as holding in and up. At first, you'll feel like, Ashley, I cannot hold a Kegel for 10 seconds. I can maybe clench for 2 or 3 seconds. That's where you're going to start. You will be able to regain your neuromuscular connection between your brain, your pelvic floor, and your innermost abdominal muscles to get your pelvic floor hammock acting like it should again at its max capacity, because typically it should be nice and relaxed like this. But occasionally, when you have a coughing fit, it needs to cinch up and tighten up. That is exactly what you are training for, but I don't want you to do it all the time or every time you think about it, because this could cause an overly tight pelvic floor situation called a hypertonic pelvic floor, where it's always tight, always turned on. In general, we want your pelvic floor to be nice and relaxed, like a hanging hammock, and only tighten when it needs to. The 3 times a day, consistent training is so effective. Again, start it tomorrow. Let me know in the comments. Come back and tell me how it goes for you. Have you ever seen during taxes season the thick inflatable tube man that just sort of flops around everywhere? During mom life, when we have a lot going on, we can just move quickly without even thinking about it. Instead, you're going to start being more deliberate and mindful about your movement patterns so that you don't accidentally exacerbate your already frustrating diastasis recti ab gap, or if you are working on healing it with exercise right now, that you don't prevent healing it because of your everyday movement patterns. Seeing these 4 movement patterns will help you remember them. Instead of doing a crunch and sitting up off of your couch or bed, log roll to the side and then use your hands and arms to prop yourself up. Instead of flopping over at the waist to pick up toys or do household chores, hinge at your hips and knees simultaneously. This is even more important when you're picking up heavy containers or heavy children. Instead, kneel with a single leg lunge, pull your child or box to your chest, and stand up strong. Instead of bringing your breast to your baby, always bring your baby to your breast. Whether you are early postpartum or much farther postpartum, if your goal is to heal your diastasis recti ab gap, don't be trying to act like Superwoman and lift really heavy things doing projects around your home or yard. There might be an occasion where you must lift a heavier child into the back of the car, for example. When those required everyday movements do come up, because they will, ensure that you are exhaling as you do the lift and you're not holding your breath, which is going to cause that bulging and pushing down of the paper bag. I'm going to be very straightforward. The reason that random diastasis recti exercises that you find on Instagram or YouTube aren't working for you is because you're lacking the progression. Workouts must lay the foundation first, the neuromuscular connection between your brain, your deepest, most abdominal muscles, your transverse abdominis, they wrap all the way around you like a girdle, and your pelvic floor hammock to work synergistically as a team. If you don't master this, then all the other workouts aren't going to be doing anything for you. When you follow my 12-week post-pregnancy plan, workouts progressively advance every 2 weeks to allow your body just enough time so that you don't get bored and so that it continues to react because it's surprised and it gets progressive overload, not just with your abs, but with your thighs, your glutes, your calves, your back, your shoulders, your arms, full body, so that your abs can come back together and stay back together and stop coning or doming or separating, which is what is making you so frustrated because you keep seeing this pooch that isn't being retrained on how your abs can come back together to better be able to control intra-abdominal pressure. When you do the 12-week post-pregnancy plan, you never have to think about what to do and when, what exercise regression or progression that you might need, and you never have to worry, is this safe for C-section, for vaginal recoveries? And they are not going to waste your time. We get straight to the point, laser focused clarity. Your kids will sometimes see my kids or dogs on the screen. It is very much real mom life. And I also pour into you in a way that makes the workouts fun and engaging. So you actually want to do the workouts and it doesn't feel like a chore. The reason I'm so confident is because it has worked on myself after having 5 really big babies, and it's also worked on over 18,000 moms. C-section, vaginal, 1 baby, twins, quadruplets, moms of 10 and 11 who came to me saying nothing else has worked. I can't jump on a trampoline. I feel like I look like I'm 5 months pregnant when I'm not. And finally, after all these years, they have now improved the integrity of their abdominal wall again, and they can jump on a trampoline without leaking. So if you have doubts, know that I understand, but I also feel very hopeful and confident for you.